Hi, this is Mama Dr. Tochi with today's interesting class. It's a naughty class. Today's interesting class on how to make a sour jar. A sour jar. It's a form of a hex. It's a form of a hex, let's put it that way. But we want to do this for the right reason. There are conditions for doing this to make sure that it is successful. So if you do this little spiritual exercise and it doesn't work for you, I encourage you to go back and check your intentions, the reason why you're doing it, and also, most importantly, if your hands are clean. So go get that drink, get the snack, get the notebook, get the pen, and let's have us some delicious forbidden fruit. Thank you for coming back. And before we get into today's class, as usual, a little bit of housekeeping, okay? If you are a subscriber to this channel, I am so thankful for you. Thank you for being part of the family. If you are a member, a double thank you to you for financially supporting the work that I do here. I couldn't do it without you, so thank you. If you'd like to be a member of my channel, please click the join button that you see below this video. If you don't see the join button, just realize that it's not yet available in your country or region. When you click the join button, you will see different membership levels. Be sure to choose the one that's right for you. I have member videos, member classes that are only open to those who are members. So those classes are not open to the general public. So I encourage you to check it out. If you need to get a hold of me for consultations, divination, spiritual practice coaching, Reiki therapy, you want my courses, my books, and more products, I encourage you to go to my website at tochi.us, tochi.us. I don't do any transactions outside of my website to prevent fraud, okay? So I don't do MoneyGram, don't do Western Union, I don't transact on WhatsApp or Facebook, Instagram, okay? We can chit chat in terms of I did a post and you put a comment, but I don't solicit business on those platforms. Everything goes through my website. Okay. All right. So let's get into today's class. I have my handy dandy notes because today's class is real. There's a lot of information in it. Okay. So the first thing we need to know, why do you want to have a sour jar? Okay. Sour jars. Okay, here's a jar, typical jar we can use to create one of these sour jars. They're generally used to, they're done to sour someone's life, to make their life sour, to make their lives miserable, to just make them miserable, okay? This can be done for one or more people. So you can do it for one person or two people, three people, and so on and so forth. If you are going to do this, you want to make sure that your hands are clean. I know I say this in other rituals or spiritual works that I share, but it is especially important for this particular one. Why am I saying this? If you do this sour jar work correctly, and you will not hear this said by people out there who are saying, here's how to do a sour jar, here's how to do a sour jar, and they throw it all over the internet and say, just put these things together and then it works, and then go about. No. You need to understand something about this particular spell or ritual. As long as you're actively working it, you too will be having some losses in your life and your experience. So you need to ask yourself as you're doing this, am I willing to take that risk? And am I willing to endure until I achieve my objectives? Okay. A lot of people who do this experience sourness in their own lives as well, but not to the magnitude that the target or targets experience. Let me give you an example. So let's say you did this to break up a relationship, or to mess with a relationship, or to just make someone miserable. They treated you badly or did something to you, and you said, okay, I'm going to do this for them. You too, okay, you will experience some losses and some sourness. Is there a word like sourness? Okay, in your own life, as long as you have this thing active. Okay, the magnitude of souring or sourness that you experience is directly related to how clean your hands are. What do I mean by all of that big English? What I mean by that is the cleaner your hands are, the lesser the effect of this on you who put it together. I'll repeat that. The cleaner your hands are, the less the effect this will have on you who put it together. Okay? When spiritual practitioners put this together, before they do, they go through their protection ritual first. Not just a cleansing ritual, because remember there's a difference between cleansing and protection. They actually have to do a protection ritual before they put this together for a client, because they don't want the blowback that comes from this. So if you are doing this for yourself, just be aware that there might be some blowback, and just be like, okay, I'm willing to accept any blowback that comes from this. To minimize that blowback, to minimize the back to sender effect, if I'm to use that religious language, make sure that your hands are clean as possible. Don't be going to wreck people for no just cause. Okay? Don't be going to wreck people for no just cause. Because the worse it is for them, the worse it will be for you if you're not being honest and true when you're putting this together. I hope I have said that very well. I've repeated myself in different ways, so I hope you understand what I'm saying here, okay? Now, this spell here, or this little ritual here, I hate calling them spells, they just sound like, I think they're rituals actually. This is best done as a defensive than an offensive. Okay, what do I mean by that? That when you're doing this to defend yourself. To defend yourself, okay? And defend your interests, as opposed to using it to actively attack a person or to affect a person. Or like some people say to me, I want to do a preemptive strike. I want to strike them first before they strike me. Okay, if you're striking someone before they strike you, you have to be ready to take the consequences. Okay. Now the other thing too, that is important to mention is before you do this, what I recommend is that you do a divination first, or pay attention to your dreams before you do this. So and by dreams, what I mean by that is, let's say you have an intention to do this ritual, okay? Put it out to your spiritual crew first and say, hey, I want to put together a sour jar against X, or against X and Y, or against X, Y, and Z, okay? Is this a good idea? Okay? And then sleep over it and see what the dream says to you. Or you can do a divination. I have several videos in my channel here on divinations. You can do simple divinations for yourself, okay? You can do a Bible divination, Quran divination, book divination, coin divination. You can do that and find out, simple yes or no. Should I be doing this, or I should not be doing this, okay? So that's a good way to safeguard yourself. The other important thing to mention is that you do not want to be putting this together near a mirror. Do not do this in front of a mirror, beside a mirror, behind a mirror, Go to where there are no mirrors if you're going to be doing this, because you want to minimize the blowback to yourself. Don't do this around a mirror. Don't do this in front of a mirror. Don't be like, well, I'll do it on my dresser and your dresser has a mirror. Or let me go do it in the bathroom and the bathroom has a mirror. Enough said. Okay? All right, so here we go. So what do you want to have inside here? The base ingredient for this, is vinegar. Okay? Vinegar. That's the base ingredient. In this part of the world, a lot of people like using the Four Thieves vinegar. Okay? There are recipes all over the internet for how to make a Four Thieves. If you can't buy it, the Four Thieves vinegar has the vinegar plus some herbs and stuff added to it as well. So you can make it yourself or you can go and purchase it. If for any reason you can't put together a Four Thieves vinegar, you can use any vinegar that you have. You can use white vinegar, you can use apple cider vinegar. Any vinegar you can lay your hands on will do, okay? And then you want to put your vinegar maybe up to halfway of the cup. The next thing you want to put in here, because remember this is a sour jar, it's sour, okay? You want to put in like half a lemon, or you cut the lemon and put half of it in here, or cut it up into bits and pieces and put it in here, okay? If you have a bigger jar, you can put in a whole lemon, but make sure it's cut up into bits and pieces and put into it with the vinegar, okay? Then you want to get some urine. Not everybody likes using their urine, but you can use your urine because that's symbolic of I'm pissing on you, okay? All right. Okay, you can put a small quantity of it in there, okay? Another ingredient that often goes into a sour jar is hot peppers. You choose the kind of hot pepper you want to put in here. Now, for those who are going to ask, because I know someone's going to ask, bell pepper is not a hot pepper. Bell pepper is not a hot pepper. It's a sweet pepper, okay? Hot peppers are like your Scotch bonnet peppers, your habaneros, your chilies, things of that nature, serrano peppers and things of that nature. You want to get one and you cut it up and put it inside the jar, okay? Another thing you want to get would be nails. You can use regular nails, but if you want yours to be pretty potent, you can get coffin nails. The nails used to nail down coffins. You can put that in here. You can go and search for where you can buy this. Sometimes you can buy them from botanicas, spiritual shops, metaphysical shops, or you just go to coffin makers and say to them, can I have a couple of nails there? I'm trying to make a sour jar on somebody, okay, and I need them to be nailed shut. I want them to be shut down. I don't know if the coffin maker will give you nails if you say that. Well, maybe if they don't care, maybe they'll give you nails. I don't know. They might be like, oh yeah, here's a handful of nails. Make it work. Can you do one for me too? All right. So you want to put some coffin nails. If you can't lay your hands on coffin nails, go get yourself some regular nails, okay? Now, some people actually put some insects in here, like the creepy, crawly, icky insects like spiders or millipedes or centipedes or creepy, crawly, insects to put that in there. Some other people also put dog hair and cat hair, and the reason is that it is believed that cats and dogs are always fighting, though that in my experience that's not always the case, because you can raise your cat and your dog together and they cohabit peacefully, okay? But the general belief is that dogs and cats don't get along, so you can put some cat hair and dog hair. Make sure you get those hairs ethically, okay? Don't be going over to your uncle's house and say, Uncle, I like that picture. And while your uncle's looking at the picture, the dog's like, okay, yeah. And then your uncle turns around and is like, what's happening to the dog? I don't know. smell. Meanwhile, your fist is full of dog hair or cat hair, okay? So you want to be making sure that you get that hair as ethically as possible. The other thing you want to add are mustard seeds. Mustard seeds are known for in rituals for causing strife, dissension, and also poppy seeds. Okay, you can also add poppy seeds. Remember, with these ingredients that I'm listing, just do the best you can. Okay, it doesn't have to be every single one of them should be in there, but make sure the major ones are in there. The vinegar, at least a little bit of urine in there, and then the hot peppers. Those are really, really essential for that, and the lemon. Okay. The other thing you also might want to get is something called the hot foot powder. You can get that from botanicas or metaphysical stores. If you can't get that, get you some sulfur. Okay, sulfur is like a yellow powder. When you're handling sulfur, you need to be careful because it can burn you. My suggestion is put some gloves on if you're going to be handling sulfur. Sulfur, it's bright yellow. You can't miss it. It's very fine, like baby powder, okay? But once you open the packet or the jar or the box, wherever you have that sulfur, it will smell like rotten eggs. That's what sulfur smells like, okay? And you can just put a spoonful in here, teaspoonful or spoonful, depending on the size of your jar. Once you put that into the jar and it starts mixing with the vinegar, you will see it bubbling, okay? It will start bubbling. So the other thing too you want to add is what you want. What is it that you want to happen? You write that on a piece of paper. It doesn't matter what kind of paper, it doesn't matter what kind of pen, but you want to write it with pen, not a pencil, and put that in there. You might also want to put a representation of the target, so their picture or something that represents them. You can use a little doll if you want, or but something that represents them. Some people may put in the victim's hair or nail clipping. You may not be able to get those, and that's fine. You can just write down their name and put it in there as well. If you don't know the person's name, put in the person's description, okay, and put it inside there. But the more detailed you are, the higher the likelihood that this will work for you, and this works pretty quickly, okay? You should start seeing something within a month or less, okay? So you want to put all those things in here. So after you've assembled all of it together, just make sure that you don't have, by the time you're done, everything is up here, because it's going to be bubbling. It's going to be stinking, okay? It's going to be, and you're putting all these things in there. After you put everything inside there, your written petition, representation of the person or persons that this is targeted against, then before you put the lid on it, you need to hold it and say your invocation over it, what you want to happen and how you want it to happen, okay? Well, basically what you want to happen. Forget about the how you want it to happen, okay? Remember, whatever you are saying into this, you will experience a percentage of it. I repeat, whatever you're saying should happen to the person or persons you're putting in here, a percentage will still come your way. All right? Make sure your hands are clean. Make sure you're saying stuff that you yourself, you can endure. I'm going to leave it at that. So once you're done with that, so you firmly put the lid, make sure that it's screwed tight, and then you can light a candle over it, okay? Light a candle over it and let that candle burn down, okay? You're going to have candle drippings all over the side of the jar, okay? Let the candle burn down. Okay, after the candle burns down, give this a shake, little shake, not like Okay, because you got vinegar and sulfur and stuff up in there, okay? You don't want this thing cracking or exploding on you. And remember, that's why I said when you're doing it, give some space. Don't fill it up all the way here so you can have space. So just shake it a little bit every day, once a day for 7 days, and say, this is a reminder, this is what I want. You shake it up a little bit, put it aside. You can burn a candle on the first day you put it together, or if you feel like it, you can burn a candle on it every day of the 7 days. If you want to burn a candle on this thing every day of the 7 days, I suggest getting the little candles. They're little, I think they're called chime candles or birthday candles. You can put, well, chime candles are maybe yay high, okay? Birthday candles are like this, but if you want to burn a candle on it every day to increase the power and the potency of the thing, get little candles, something that will burn down pretty quickly, or little tea lights, but if you're getting a tea light, just make sure that it can overflow, okay? And do that for 7 days. After 7 days, you want to go and throw this away complete. If you open it, you have reversed your ritual. I repeat, if you open it, because I know someone's going to come in the comment section and say, how long am I going to keep it and when can I pour out the contents? If you pour out the contents, you have reversed your work. So if you want to reverse your work, all you have to do is open it up, okay, and pour out the contents, and that is that. Otherwise, after the 7 days, go throw this in the trash, go throw it in water, deep water, in the river, in the lake, or somewhere. Go throw it in the bush. Go throw it somewhere where nobody will find it. And sit back and watch what happens, okay? Again, if you open this, you have reversed a spell, okay? There are sometimes people, go out there and they're seeing all these sour jars out there and they're like, oh, I wonder what it is. And then they open it. That stinks. They just broke the spell. A random stranger broke the spell. They opened it and broke the spell. All right. So that's it on the sour jar. Just make sure that you're doing this for a just cause. Don't be doing it against innocent folk. Don't be doing it against people who didn't do anything to you, because the blowback to you can be pretty severe. Don't be doing this just because you want a man, somebody else got the man, and you want to break him up so that you can have the man. Even if you do this and get the man won't stay with you because he's not supposed to be with you. Same thing with women, okay? If the woman you want is with someone else and you're doing this to break them up, even if they break up, even if she comes to you, she's not going to spend a lot of time with you. And when she finally leaves you, she will hate you because you coerced her against her will. Okay, so you have to do this with a whole bunch of common sense and responsibility. Okay, I like this for bullies. This is just great for bullies. People who bully, even if they're online bullies or face-to-face or physical bullies, they're great. They're great for people that just attack you for no just cause and just hate you for no just cause. Put one of this together for them, and after 7 days, give it a toss and go about your business and just watch, okay? And depending on how spiritually protected that person is, that will determine how quickly this will act on the person. Because some people, they know they're bad. Some people know that they're not nice, and they go and do things to spiritually protect themselves because of blowback from all the people they've hurt. I mean, we need to put it out there. There are people who are like that. They know they're not nice people. And so they do a whole bunch of spiritual stuff to try and shield them from their own bad works. Okay? All right. Hope you learned something today. If you learned something, let's have an eye. All right. We're thankful to our Creator, our guardian spirits, our ancestors, spirit guides, and all those in the unseen realms who teach us what we need to know to defend ourselves and be protected. Ashe.